I'd like to call to order, please. Please be quiet as we begin this Eagle Scout Court of Honor. My name is Mike Jones. I'm the new Scoutmaster for Troop 89 here in Medfield. I'd like to call on Liam Curry, our Senior Patrol Leader of Troop 89, to lead our opening ceremony. Will everybody please stand? Troop 89 advance. Eagle Scout Mateo Benson, escort Eagle candidate Marco Silva Benson and his parents forward. Will Eagle Scout Isaac Popper please escort Eagle candidate Brandon Popper and his family forward. Will everybody please remain standing for the presentation of the colors. Color guard advance. Will everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call upon Rabbi Henry Zhu, please, to give the invocation.
I stood in this same pulpit 5 years ago to offer the invocation when Brandon's elder brother Isaac became an Eagle Scout. Today I'm here to honor Marco Benson and Brandon, both of whom will ascend to the rank of Eagle Scout. I'm also here to congratulate Marco's parents, Bob and Flavia Benson, and Brandon's parents, Jeff and Allison Popper, longtime members of my synagogue, Temple Beth David of Westwood, who have encouraged and supported each of their two sons to participate in the wonderful activity of Scouting. I love Brandon's Eagle Scout project, the building and maintenance of a standing food pantry. To help feed the hungry is, for me, the epitome of service. Jewish tradition recalls at the very beginning of God's relationship with Abraham, God challenged Abraham with the words, V'yeh bracha, be a blessing, be an exemplary person by serving others. Shortly after this, Abraham sees 3 weary foot travelers. He invites them to his and Sarah's tent. He washes their tired feet and feeds them a sumptuous meal. By feeding the 3 hungry strangers, Abraham knew that he was fulfilling God's challenge to be a blessing. Ultimately, at the very heart of Scouting is the same message: be a blessing by serving others. As we begin the celebration of the attainment of the esteemed rank of Eagle Scout by Brandon and Marco, we thank God for Troop 89 in Medfield, Massachusetts, and remind ourselves that Scouting mirrors that first challenge that God gave to Abraham, V'yeh bracha, be a blessing. Be a blessing to your fellow troop members. Be a blessing to your parents, be a blessing to your community, and be a blessing to yourselves, so that everyone might benefit from the endeavors of Troop 89.
Thank you, Rabbi. Please have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming on this glorious day. Such a fantastic day for these two young men. As a former Eagle Scout myself, it's always fun to look upon new scouts coming up through the ranks and to see these fine gentlemen getting their Eagle rank. And also seeing some former friends of mine that I went to high school with who went through Troop 89 and seeing their names on those very plaques outside. So check it out there when you get a chance. It's fantastic. There's a few people I'd like to welcome as well. We have some dignitaries here attending. Our Medfield Select Board members, Eileen Murphy, Gus Murphy, and Osler Pete Peterson. Welcome. We have two state representatives here, Denise Garlick and Marcus Vaughn. Welcome. We have our Medfield's Lions president here in attendance, Chris Carlin. Welcome. And Unit Commissioner Jerry Kazanjian, whom I've known for years and years. Welcome, Jerry. And also from Legion Post 10, Mr. Paul Danelli, I believe. So welcome to Paul. And I'd like to introduce Jim Hatch, our former Scoutmaster, Troop 89. You're on board.
So I'd also like to thank everyone for coming out today. Long weekends, but we want to make sure there's something convenient with our college students. So, believe it or not, this is actually a Boy Scout injury. So Hank Aaron, a former Scout and one of the greatest baseball players of all time, is quoted as saying, "The greatest positive influence in my life was my involvement in Scouting. While there has never been any doubt in my mind that Brandon and Marco would be standing up here, I don't think anyone realizes the level of this accomplishment. I promise you these statistics are real and not something I just came up with. Only 25% of all boys become Boy Scouts. Of those boys who become Scouts, 30% of them will drop out after the first year. Every single one of them will learn something from Scouting. Almost all will develop hobbies that would add interest throughout the rest of their lives. At least 2% of Scouts will use something they learned in Scouting to save their own life, while another 1% will use what they learned in Scouting to save another person's life. At least one person will later say that he valued his Eagle Scout accomplishment above his college degree. Less than 1% of them will ever appear before a juvenile court judge. 17% will later become Scout leaders and will give leadership to thousands of additional boys. 8% will go into careers that have to do with the interests that they learned from Scouting. Brandon's currently a journalist major at Elon University. Maybe his work in the photography merit badge, the communications merit badge, and the sports merit badge, combined with his work as a sports broadcaster in high school, led to this interest. Marco is currently an engineering major at the University of North Carolina. While he never did earn his engineering merit badge, one can only assume he developed that interest while in Boy Scouts. Less than 4% of all Scouts will go on to earn the rank of Eagle. And this is my favorite, 0.3%, that's just over 1/4 of 1% of all boys ages 12 through 17 worldwide will ever earn the glorious rank of Eagle. Brandon, the last of the baby brothers. Of 12 years ago, 18 boys crossed over from the Cub Scout ranks into Troop 89. Not knowing it at the time, 4 of them were in the process of laying the path for their younger brothers to follow. Brandon is the last of those 4 younger brothers. For the first couple of years, from an outsider's perspective, it appeared as though Brandon was hiding in Isaac's shadow. Having known Brandon for as long as I did, I knew that wasn't the case. Not at all. Brandon was watching, he was studying, he was learning from one of the key leaders of our troop. Like I said when I introduced Brandon on the night of his board of review, he was becoming that leader that every Scoutmaster would be proud of. However, he had quite the obstacles to overcome. He attended Temple in Westwood. He attended private school. There were very few Troop 89 Scouts in his grade. Brandon had very few opportunities to hang out with his fellow Scouts. Despite all that, Brandon asserted himself as a leader within the troop, one that was voted patrol leader for multiple terms. The one thing I take away from my time with Brandon is the respect and friendship he earned from the fellow scouts and leaders from day one. As a youth, you just want to be liked by your peers. Brandon was not only liked, but he was respected. That is hard to do at that age, but Brandon earned it with ease. In my mind, that's the biggest reason why Brandon developed into the leader that everyone here can be very proud of. Marco had a completely different path in Scouts. If you asked me back in 2017 if Marco would be standing up here, I would have said in a heartbeat, absolutely. You were quiet, but you were born to be a Scout. Marco loved the meetings. Marco loved the camping trips. He loved summer camp. But the one thing I love about Marco is his love for the high adventure trips. Having you join us for the trip to the sea base was such a pleasure. You were just a fun Scout, and you loved every part of it. Marco had the task of balancing a very demanding jazz band schedule with the Troop 89 schedule. At times, it was more demanding than even he expected. That still didn't stop Marco from being a very well-respected patrol leader and a very important member of our senior patrol. On more than one occasion, I remember asking Marco to be the patrol leader for our new Scouts because he enjoyed teaching them the skills that he was taught as a young Scout, and I enjoyed watching him do it. He was always that Scout I could count on to see a task through to its completion. More often than not, I am up here talking about the path that older brothers have laid for their younger brothers, rather than that, following in that path, these boys have created their own. Marco's on the opposite end of this. He has shown Mateo the value of being an Eagle Scout and the work ethic required for this accomplishment. I can assure you, Mateo is watching your every move and is well on his way to being just like his older brother. You two have become a leader that I am incredibly proud of, and I cannot wait to see what the next chapter is for you after UNC. As I mentioned earlier, less than 4% of registered Scouts can make the claim that they're Eagle Scouts. Troop 89 is very proud that over 50% of our registered Scouts make it to Eagle. I would like to now close by sharing with the distinguished company that you can now be compared to. More than 25% of our U.S. senators are Eagle Scouts. Over 60 of our current congressmen are Eagle Scouts. 11 of our state governors, 40 current and past astronauts, including Neil Armstrong and James Lovell, the commander of the Apollo 13 mission, are Eagle Scouts. Several current and past professional athletes, including Red Sox postseason hero Shane Victorino, Hall of Fame basketball player Bill Bradley, and Jim Mora, the 1987 NFL Coach of the Year, are all Eagle Scouts. Dr. James Andrews, a surgeon who has treated many high-profile athletes, including basically inventing a procedure now known as the bloody sock for Kurt Schilling that allowed him to pitch and beat the Yankees in Game 6 of the 2004 ALCS. Over 1,700 CEOs, presidents, and head of companies, including Bill Gates, J.W. Marriott, and Sam Walton, are all Eagle Scouts. Not many people can be mentioned in the same breath as these individuals, but now the two of you can. Don't wait for the world to acknowledge your accomplishments. By all means, take pride in what you've done, but don't let it go to your head. When you're finished with scouting, fold up your uniform and sash, put it away somewhere private with all of your other tokens of what you've accomplished so far. Then roll up your sleeves, get out in the world, and put what you've learned to use. My advice to you today, from one Eagle Scout to another, once the celebration of today has subsided, put this accomplishment on your resume and never take it off. At 50 years old, it is still on my resume to this day, and I am so proud of that. It has helped me get accepted into numerous colleges and has become a discussion topic in several job interviews. The last thing I mentioned to each of you at your Scoutmaster conference is a piece of advice from one of my Scout leaders over 30 years ago. Once an Eagle Scout, always Eagle Scout. Mr. Jones referred to himself in his introduction as a former Eagle Scout. I disagree. He is and always will be an Eagle Scout. I never want to hear either of you say that you were an Eagle Scout. When you're old and gray, you should be telling your children and grandchildren that you are an Eagle Scout. You are going to do huge things in this world. There is no doubt in my mind. You have made everyone in this room so incredibly proud, especially me. I would see no other way to have you two standing up here together. You've been part of my family for so many years, and we are all so grateful that you will be representing Troop 89 and the town of Medfield for the rest of your lives as Eagle Scouts. At this time, I'd like to call Liam Curry, Jack Gargano, and Ben Simonini to assist with the ceremony. I would also like to invite Tyler Hatch for the Voice of the Eagle to begin the Trail to Eagle.
This is the voice of the eagle, the eagle whose heights you have struggled hard to reach. Each scout begins with the basic principles of scouting. These are the scout law and oath. They hold true for all scouts, regardless of age, experience, or rank. You learned these when you became a scout. You upheld them throughout your scouting experience, and you honored them as an eagle candidate. Before you stands a single lighted blue candle. It represents the spirit of scouting. With this candle, we reflect on each element of the scout law and oath.
Scout is trustworthy.
A scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is a part of his code of conduct. People can always depend on him.
Scout is loyal.
A scout is true to his family and friends. Scout leaders, school, nation, and world community.
Scout is helpful.
A scout is concerned about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward.
Scout is friendly.
A scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other scouts. He seeks to understand others. He respects those with ideas and customs that are different from himself.
Scout is courteous.
A scout is polite to everyone, regardless of age or position. He knows that good manners make it easy for people to get along together.
Scout is kind.
A scout understands that there is a strength to be gentle, or a strength in being gentle. He treats others and wants to be treated. He treats others the way he wants to be treated. He does not harm or kill anything with everything.
Scout is obedient.
A scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks the rules are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobey.
Scout is cheerful.
He looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does the tasks that come his way. He tries to make others happy.
Scout is thrifty.
A scout works to pay his way to help others. He saves them for a future. He protects and conserves of the natural resources. He carefully uses time and power.
Scout is brave.
A scout can face danger even if he's afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks he's doing right, and even if others laugh at him for doing it.
Scout is clean.
A scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those he believes living in the same ideals. He keeps his home and community clean.
Scout is reverent.
A scout is reverent toward God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others.
The Scout Oath describes 3 duties which are represented by the 3 candles. Duty to God and country, duty to others, and duty to self.
Will all the scouts and leaders please stand and repeat the Scout Oath? On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help others in all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and mentally straight. You can also start.
Marco and Brandon, the principles of the Scout Law and Oath, along with the wisdom of being prepared and doing a good turn daily, are the foundation of the scouting career which has brought you to this point. For everything, there is a beginning. Your trail to Eagle began with the Scout rank. We remember when you took your first steps upon this trail which leads upward. With that first step, you began to build yourself physically, mentally, and morally. All the while you were on the trail, we watched you learn as you experienced new challenges. Before long, you reached the first milestone along the Eagle Trail. Your brothers called you a tenderfoot. And indeed, you were a tenderfoot scout. You demonstrated the very basic skills in camping, citizenship, safety, and first aid. You showed that you were capable of greater achievements. Soon, you reached the next ledge, and there you were greeted by scouts who held the second class rank. To reach the rank of second class, you learned to work with the members of your patrol and began to develop patrol spirit. Now your momentum was building to take you up to the next level. Before you knew it, you came to the ledge where first class scouts dwell. With the first class rank, you completed your experience in learning the basic skills needed in scouting. As nice as the view from this first class ledge was, your ambition caused you to turn and face the arduous trail ahead. You would soon realize just how easy the trail had been up to this point. But as difficult as this endeavor would be, the rewards ahead would make it all worthwhile. Now only two ranks stood between you and the eagle. Up this significantly steeper slope, you eventually reached the first of these increasingly challenging levels. Here you shined as a Star Scout. You learned to work with the younger scouts in your troop, passing along the knowledge you gained. Suddenly you found yourself with new responsibilities, the responsibilities that came with being a leader. Instructing now, in addition to being instructed, you would gain the experience required to continue ahead on a trail that fewer scouts seem to travel. Life rank. The view here is by far the best yet. You have broken past the tree line, and from this point you look back favorably on the trail climbed and the experiences gathered. As a Life Scout, you have demonstrated leadership in the troop and have taken an active role in community service projects. Many are content to remain at this level. Only the most determined Life Scout will endure the difficult challenge of reaching the summit where the eagles dwell. You knew that you had the endurance and perseverance to complete the climb. With the heart badge on your uniform, you forged ahead into territory few scouts would endeavor. The original principles, the Scout Law and Oath, now have a greater meaning. Your understanding of them, of their purpose, and their meaning is strengthened. Because the rank of Eagle is Scouting's highest award, it is necessary to verify your qualifications. Would Assistant Scoutmaster Dan Humphreys please come forward to accomplish this task?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dan Humphreys. Brandon Luke Popper. Brandon spent 10 years in scouting, 7 of which have been a member of Troop 89. He crossed over from Cub Scout Pack 200 in March of 2017 at the age of 11 after earning Cub Scouting's Arrow of Light Award. Brandon, on his way to Eagle, Brandon has earned 27 total merit badges, including 14 from the required list to become an Eagle Scout, and has attended 23 camping trips. As part of, as a member of Troop 89, he has served the troop in the capacity of Assistant Patrol Leader, and Quartermaster. On September 28th of 2023, Brandon appeared before a board of distinguished guests with the Seven Rivers District, where he was acknowledged as being qualified to earn the rank of Eagle Scout. For his Eagle project, he researched, designed, and led the construction of a wood food pantry at the Temple Beth David in Westwood as a way to give back to the Temple community and others in the surrounding areas. The food bank was installed in June of 2023 and holds both canned goods and toiletries. His high school activities include being a broadcaster for the high school basketball team, being captain for both the varsity tennis and JV soccer teams, and being president of the Jewish Youth Group Social Action. He is currently a freshman at Elon University in North Carolina, where he is studying journalism. Next. Technology. Marco Silva Benson was also a member of Scouting for 10 years and a member of Troop 89 for 7 years. He crossed over from Cub Scout to Pac 200, where he earned his Aero Light Award, and crossed over in March of 2017 at the age of 10. He has earned a total of 30 merit badges, attended 41 camping trips, including the high adventure trips at Philmont Scout Ranch and Sea Base Florida National High Adventure in Isla, Florida. As part of Troop 89, he has supported the troop in the roles of Assistant Patrol Leader, Assistant Senior Patrol Leader, and Den Chief. He attended his board review on June 27th of 2024, where he was acknowledged as an Eagle Scout. For for Marco's project, it was to lead, design, and mount 10 bat houses at Hinkley Pond and McCarthy's Fields. Each bat house can hold up to 50 bats and can cover a 2-acre area. With all the kids and families around the areas, the bats will reduce the mosquito population, which would significantly minimize the risk of Triple E and West Nile. Scout volunteers helped assemble the bat houses as well as paint them. Marco and Brandon, you have demonstrated your capacity and willingness to exert leadership ability in the activities that are constructive and worthwhile in this community. The record has been checked by troop leadership, school affairs, and in other fields of work and service. You have demonstrated your ability to live up to the 12 points of the Scout Law, as well as the Scout Oath, duty to God and country, to others, and to yourself. We believe that you are qualified to receive the rank of Eagle Scout.
Marco and Brandon, we have now verified that you have earned your Eagle Award. We have watched your character unfold and become more mature as you struggle to reach this summit. We have watched your leadership expand into a valuable asset, and we have watched your mind develop and your wisdom increase. Please stand. Marco, are you willing and eager to accept the responsibilities as well as the honor of the badge of an Eagle Scout?
I'm willing and eager to accept this responsibility.
Brandon, are you willing and eager to accept the responsibilities as well as the honor of the badge of an Eagle Scout?
I am willing and eager and honored to accept it.
Will all the Eagles who are present today please stand and remain standing? Marco and Brandon, as you stand here at the threshold of your goal, the Eagles who have traveled the same trail welcome you, for you have completed your journey in a manner worthy of an Eagle.
At this time, we also ask all recipients of the Girl Scout Gold Award to please stand and join our Eagles. Please offer a round of applause to recognize all of these individuals and their accomplishments. Would everyone but Brandon and Marco please be seated?
Would Eagle Scout Kenneth Manning please come to the podium to give the Eagle Oath?
Please repeat after me. I, Kenneth Manning,
I, Brandon Popper,
realize my obligation to my fellow Scouts,
realize my obligation to my fellow Scouts,
my home, my nation, and my God.
my home, my nation, and my God.
I will at all times assist all other Scouts
I will at all times assist other Scouts
who are climbing the trail to Eagle.
who are climbing the trail to Eagle.
I will give back more than what Scouting has given to me,
I will give back more than what Scouting has given to me,
and assist my troop as much as possible,
and assist my troop as much as possible,
and be a living example of the Scout Oath and Law
and be a living example of the Scout Oath and Law
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Will the Eagle candidates please have seats? Before calling the candidates and their parents forward, I want to explain a few parts of the award ceremony. First, the mother pin will be given to the eagle. First, the mother will be given the Eagle medal to pin on her son. Then the father will present the son with the Eagle badge. Next, the scout will present his mom with the mother's pin and flowers, after which the scout will present his dad with the father's pin. Lastly, we will call the Eagle advisor to the altar to present the mentor pin. The purpose of the mentor pin is for the scout to select somebody not related to them, but somebody that has really had an impact and has been a mentor to them throughout their Eagle journey. And I'm going to go a little bit off script here, because normally we just call the parents forward, but I'm pretty sure you both will agree that you would not be sitting here without the support of your brothers as well. I'm actually going to call the brothers up as well. So we're going to start with Bob, Flavia, and Mateo Benson. Please join Marco on the altar for the presentation of the Eagle badge. Okay, so we're going to start with giving Flavia the Eagle medallion to pin on Marco's left pocket flap. And at this time, we'll give Bob the Eagle patch for Marco. And at this time, we'll give Marco the mom's pin to pin on your mom. And at this time, we'll give Marco the father's pin to pin on Bob. And Marco has asked to give his mentor pin to me. You guys can reach into your seats. At this time, will Allison, Jeff, and Isaac Popper please join Brandon on stage. going to start with giving Allison the Eagle medallion to pin on Brandon's left pocket flap. And at this time, we'll give Jeff the Eagle patch to present to Brandon. And now we'll give Brandon the mom's pin to pin on Allison for her second mom's pin. Very well done. At this time, we're going to give Brandon the dad's pin to pin on Jeff. And will Brandon's Eagle advisor and mentor, Bob Benson, please join us on the stage? You guys can now return to your seats. Will Eagle Scout Jim Kemp please come to the podium to give the Eagle charge to our Eagles?
I have the honor to give you the Eagle Scout charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest rank in scouting. The Boy Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world's history. You have been counted worthy of this high rank in the Boy Scouts of America. All who know you rejoice in your accomplishment. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed the solemn obligation to do your duty to God, your country, your fellow Scouts, and to mankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and your brother Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts, it extends to your country and to your God. America has many good things to give you and those who follow you, but these good things depend, for the most part, on the character and leadership abilities of your citizens. Our country has had a great past. You can make the future greater still. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold, the highest level of service to God and your fellow men. So live and serve all who cherish America's great gifts. We have too many who use their strength and their knowledge to exploit others to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate your hearts and hands to the common good. Build America on the solid foundations of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. Then, whatever others may do, you will leave behind you a record of which you may be justly proud.
I'm just going to introduce myself. All right. So we're going to start with some dignitary presentations. And of course, we'll start with our distinguished town selectmen, Eileen Murphy, Gus Murphy, and Pete Peterson.
Good afternoon, and I just want to say congratulations, gentlemen. It's I say this every time I stand up here, but you know, when I was elected 3 years ago, I didn't know this was a hidden gem. When you join the select board, you get invited to be part of the ceremony, and this is such a prestigious event. And I look out to the families and I congratulate you. What a big day! What a big day! You worked really hard for it, and congratulations. So let me read here what we have on behalf of the town. The town of Medfield, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Certificate of Achievement presented to Marco Benson and Brandon Luke-Popper for attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. In testimony whereof, the select board here describes their name and hereto affix the seal of the town of Medfield this 12th day of November 2024. So I say congratulations, and I am going to do something because we've got up to report Denise Scarlett. And Denise, I just want to say thank you for all you've done for Medfield. You cut out last time, we didn't get a chance to recognize you, and as chair of select board, you are moving on. You have left quite a legacy, and thank you so much. And I love seeing you here at these events. So.
So guys, I just always try to remind you that the select board is here as a symbol of your hometown, and your hometown is here to congratulate you and to celebrate with you. This is a substantial achievement. It took a team, clearly, your troop, your family, and we like to keep your town as well. But we're certainly appreciative as your town for what you've done for your troop, your family, and your town. So thank you.
Congratulations to both of you for your accomplishment in achieving the Eagle rank. Before each one of these Eagle courts, I wind up just reflecting, partly because I've been a scout a long time ago and an adult leader even a long time ago. I'm going to make a prediction, and this is a prediction not just for the two of you, but it's actually for all of you who are scouts. When we talk about Eagle Scout, we go through the list of accomplishments, and if you were like me, even when I was a Cub Scout, every rank, you open up the book and there's this checklist. And you think about it, oh, I did that, did they sign me off on this, and it's a checklist mentality. I will predict that none of you fully realize the significance of the experiences you've had in scouting yet. You already know about some of them. Some of them you'll figure out the next 10 years. I can attest that some of those things you won't realize until you're maybe even in your 50s. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed learning about canoeing in the Maine woods when I was in my 50s on a high adventure trip with the Boy Scouts. I'd never done that before. It's phenomenal. Which also says that if you're an adult or an adult leader, it is also one of the best excuses you have to go on trips that are fun things that you would never have probably done before. So don't get warned off or worried about doing that. If you have the opportunity, I can personally say it is well worth the trip. Whether it's sea base, I got to do a bunch. I never went to Philmont as a scout. I did as an adult leader. I got to sea base, and then we did the West Penobscot, now probably 15 years ago or more. And they were all a great experience. So you have to work through the checklist to get the rank, yes, but don't underestimate what you're going to get out of scouts throughout your life. So, congratulations again.
I
feel like Eileen's already done my introduction for me, but I second everything she said. Denise, you've been a staple of this community, and we're so appreciative to have you here this morning. So Denise Garlick.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am deeply moved that I share any of this moment with Brando and Marco. Thanks to the Medfield Select Board for your very kind words. Thank you. I am Denise Garlick, State Representative for Needham, Dover, and half of Medfield, which in my heart is always all of Medfield. And I am retiring on December 31st. I believe this is my last Eagle ceremony in Medfield. You can never actually be sure in Medfield. Eagles seem to nest here very regularly. But in the time I have served, more than 55 Medfield Scouts have become Eagles. This is extraordinary. It speaks to the troop, it speaks to the leaders, and it speaks to the community. It's a privilege of my office that I am invited to these ceremonies that are so important to the community. But it is something that I take so very seriously. I am the mother of 4 young adults now, 2 daughters and 2 Eagle Scouts, my sons. So I know full well the journey. So I'd like to just touch on 3 points. First, I would like to address the family, the fellow Scouts, and the adult leaders. I think what Brandon and Marco know better this moment that they ever could have envisioned was that nobody is on this journey alone. And it takes so many people to do this. And I think on the side with the mothers, we might find out that it took a lot of coaching too. It certainly did in my family. And that's because the road to Eagle is really arduous. And, you know, Gus Murbury talked about the checklist, but the checklist is actually very difficult. And the timing is of the essence. And when you are a person who is growing and changing and evolving all the time, that checklist can get ahead of you pretty quickly. And it takes a lot of people to help you stay on track and to be on track to achieve this. I wanted to say that because I want both Brandon and Marco to take a moment. I can't believe that it's easy to sit here with everyone looking at you and to have so many responsibilities on your shoulders, on top of this very arduous journey that you've been on. But I'm hoping that there's a moment that you can relax enough to look out and see the people who are gathered here for you today. And, you know, I always want to comment on the Medfield Select Board. In the 3 towns I represent, this is the only select board that shows up for every ceremony in its entirety. This is an incredible commitment that the Medfield Select Board makes. But when you look at your fellow Scouts, when you look at the adult leaders, I want you to know that the road ahead of you today is full of expectations. And we hear about astronauts, and we hear about Congress people, and we hear about all of those great expectations. And certainly you are being prepared for that. But that's not an easy road either. So I tend to think of Eagles in, right? Today is a sunny day, a beautiful day for our young Eagles. There's also stormy weather, and there's really cold weather as you go on. It will be your fight through life, right? And I want you to look out and see the people who are here for you, because we are always here for you. We are your community. We are proud of you today. We are proud of you every day. Good days, bad days, good weather, stormy weather. Remember always that we're here for you. And then the third and final thing I'd like to speak about is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You will be receiving from the floor of the House of Representatives a resolution. This is actual legislative language. It is passed through the entire legislative process. Your Eagle Scout Award has been read on the floor of the House of Representatives. It is part of the annals of the history of the Commonwealth. I want you to know that that's important because we're recognizing today that you are strong members of the troop, of the community, of the Commonwealth, and of our country. All of those building blocks for today and for the future, and I want to congratulate you.
Thank you, Denise. And now the Medfield Lions president, Chris Carlin. And I'll have you know, Chris is giving up his busiest season to be here with you guys today. It's Christmas tree season.
I'm also giving up the Michigan-Ohio State game. Good afternoon, I'm Chris Carlin, President of Medfield Lions, and on behalf of the Lions, I'm privileged here to honor your newest Eagle Scouts, Marco and Brandon. This year, the Medfield Lions are celebrating our 80th year in Medfield, and celebrating new Eagle Scouts is definitely an activity that we've enjoyed over the years. In fact, several other Lions wanted to do this, but I had to invoke my executive privilege as president to be able to do this, and I'm honored to do so. We have two certificates of achievement for you. We'd like to read the letter from the Lions Club International. Brandon and Marco, congratulations on earning your Eagle Scout medal. This is a significant achievement. By earning the rank of Eagle Scout, you have demonstrated your commitment to the ideals of Medfield Troop 89. The skills you demonstrated in earning your award will serve you well as a Scout, a professional, and a member of your community. As a Scout, you've also demonstrated your commitment to the Lions motto, "We serve." We believe where there is a need, there is a lion, which recognizes the role that volunteers play in strengthening their communities. Community service and civic engagement are wonderful ways to show you care about the needs of others, to champion the important issues in your community. Lions Club International thanks you for your dedication to improving the lives of others, and we hope you'll continue collaborating with the Medfield Lions Club and that you'll continue to be an agent of positive change in your community. I have these two certificates for you.
So Troop 89 has a very long partnership with Legion that goes post 110 here in Medfield. While a couple of years ago, our scouting partnership ended with them, the support and commitment that they exhibit toward our troop has not ended. So we're very pleased to have Paul Daniele from the Legion here with us this morning.
Yes, my name is Paul Villafaro, and I represent the American Legion in town, and I'm current chaplain. And at this time, I'm representing the commander, Robert Tandler. He couldn't be here today, so I'm filling in for him. And this is my fourth ceremony that I've been to. I was a former past commander in the past, and filled in for another commander at another time. So I have these plaques for both Marco and Brandon that I'm going to present to them. Thank you very much.
So we have a couple others that I'll read. One for each of you, and I'll leave them here. You guys can grab them after the ceremony. One of them is from the United States House of Representatives, from Jake Ochenclass. Certificate of recognition, in recognition of your achievement, the rank of Eagle Scout, and your commitment to public service. From from our State House. Dear Eagle Scout, and their names are on here, so these aren't just generic. Congratulations on the great milestone and honor of earning the Boy Scouts Eagle Scout Award. Rising to the rank of Eagle Scout is a remarkable and outstanding accomplishment, one which demonstrates the highest qualities of leadership and character, requiring hard work and principled dedication to service, community, and direction. These attributes are essential to improving our shared civic life. You, your family, and each member of Troop 89 should be very proud with this honor. You join a class of highly distinguished Americans, including members of Congress, governors, company executives, and other public citizens, setting an example for your community, your leadership efforts, as well as the dedication of your troop. Help us all look forward to a very bright future. Sincerely, Maura T. Healy, Governor, Kimberly L. Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor. And this is an official citation from the State Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Brandon McPopper in recognition of your outstanding achievement in obtaining the highest rank of scouting, Eagle Scout. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. We also have our Unit Commissioner, Jerry Kazanjian, here with us this morning.
My name is Jerry Kazanjian, and I am the Unit Commissioner for the Medfield Scouts. And I've been collecting autographs of the Eagle Scouts since 1978. The first autograph I got was from one of my students. I was the band director in Holliston, and one of my students, Jeff Connor, and I knew he was going to go on to do wonderful things, which he has. I won't go through all that. And after that, I did a couple of years working with the Boy Scouts in the council office, and I had to go to an Eagle ceremony down in Lipton. And there were two young men, totally opposite. One was about this high, the other was like this. One was like this, the other was like that. Two totally different kids. One was a jock, one was a nerd, you know? But they were both Eagle Scouts. And which is amazing thing, because there's no cookie cutter that says Eagle Scout. Everyone is an individual, yet they all have the same accomplishments in different ways. And just like these two young men here, totally different, great accomplishments. So because they've been so accomplished, I want their autographs. So, ready? You want to go first? You got a pen? Oh, good. See, be prepared. How about right here? And you know today's date? It is, shoot, I forgot. Well, 30. Okay. Great. Marco? Great. Thank you very much. Two more. Thank you.
All right, now it's time to hear from our Eagle Scouts. First up, Marco.
I feel so honored to be up here today. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. My fellow scouts, my family, family friends, all the representatives, and the adult leaders. It really means a lot to me. As you may know, I was like the last in my class to gain my Eagle rank. Just want to say that I was waiting for my brother to catch up to me. But since I was getting close to my 18th birthday, I kind of had to pull the trigger on that one. So that's why I was so late, just in case you were wondering. But Mateo was actually the one who got me into scouting. When I was in 3rd grade, we were sitting on our bunk beds, and he was asking my dad to join scouting because all his friends were. So I kind of wanted to join in on that. So I kind of owe all of this to Mateo, I guess. So I just want to say thank you for that. But I'm so grateful for starting scouting because it allowed me to gain like so many valuable memories. And there's just so much that I could go over, but I'm only going to go over a few things. Like all the fun camping trips we had, going to the Pinewood Derby. I actually made it to New York for the, I don't know, like nationals. That was pretty cool. And Squanto was really fun. Pretty much everything we did, like skiing, all those camping trips, I loved it so much. But a big part of me about scouting was the older scouts. Pretty much every camping trip I went on, there's always older scouts there. I can't really explain exactly what they did that made me like them so much, but I feel like they were there to like give me something to look up to. When they were getting their eagles, when they were like in all the leadership positions, it made me want to be what they were. And I hope that right now the current troop, all the older scouts still stay active until they move away like I did. Hopefully they can give those younger scouts the same inspiration that they gave to me. So I hope that happens. But the most important part of my scouting career, I owe to my my mentors, Mr. Hatch, my dad, Mr. Humphreys. You guys like did so much for me. It was like I admit that like sometimes I didn't want to push through. I didn't have the motivation, but they really did it for me. Helped me like get through everything. My project, my ranks, all the achievements that I've done. It really means a lot to me. So yeah, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Marco. Now I'd like to call Brandon.
Wow, it's definitely a lot different looking at the scout trip. I remember even the youngest ones, I was in your shoes many years ago. Just like Marco, I want to start off by saying thank you to my brother, because it was him that really pushed me to get to this day. I didn't know always at the beginning if I would make it here. So I also want to take a moment to remember some of my loved ones who have passed away but had an impact on my journey. That would include my grandpa Bernie, my grandmother Baba, and my aunt Betsy. I'm also wishing my uncle Aaron a speedy recovery. Even though I never met my grandmother Irene, I know she would be very proud of me if she was here as well. I want to say thank you to all the scouts and adult leaders in Troop 89 for helping me on my path to Eagle. Thank you, Mr. Hatch, for leading such an amazing troop. Thank you, Mr. Benson, my Eagle advisor, for being there every step of the way. And I know the Currys may have just left the room, but I want to thank them for organizing this and taking on the responsibilities that a Eagle Scout Corps of Honor has. Thank you to my parents for pushing me, especially those times that I didn't want to go on those camping trips or wake up for the Christmas tree fundraiser. When I crossed over in 2017, I was honored to have my brother be my patrol leader. And I know listening to your older brother may not sound like the best, but it was great to have someone so close to me to help me on my path. His leadership and experience allowed me to find my footing in Troop 89. When he reached the rank of Eagle about 2 years later, he showed me that you need to have perseverance to achieve greatness. Over the years, as you mentioned, as you heard, I stepped into many leadership roles, I always try my best to help the younger scouts achieve their next ranks. My brother did that with me and my friends who are sitting here today, so it was great that I was able to pay that forward. Some of my favorite memories include the Mass Jam in 2018. We went to DC and New York, kind of hiding and got this pack from the Lincoln Memorial. It was a very cool trip. And then also 2022 when we won the Apache Relay at Squanto was fun. Squanto is always a fun place for both my brother and I. I loved earning the merit badges, or playing Gaga as a troop, or decorating the campsite. And obviously the shenanigans that occurred late at night when we were supposed to be going to sleep. But I also love canoe wars. I know it's not happening anymore, but it was a fun activity. Water polo was fun at the waterfront. Growing up, community service was always important to me and my family. So I was really excited to fulfill my Eagle project by designing and building a food pantry in my temple. During the experience, I was not only focused on fulfilling the requirement, but how I could make an impact on those in need. This fall, my family and I led a holiday food drive at our temple. Through everyone's generosity, we were able to collect food for both the Medfield and Westwood food pantries, and allowing me to restock my box at the temple. I was able to see the trunk that I brought is full with goods, so thank you for everyone who was able to help out with that. To my fellow scouts, enjoy the journey. It goes by very quickly, as some of us in this room will know about. It's not all glamour and glory, but you will realize along those bumps that it will be worth it. So don't give up when you're feeling down. Manage your time wisely, especially as you get into high school. You'll have more curriculars and more activities, but just manage your time and do not be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. It will be very helpful in the end. Congratulations to Marco and the Benson family. Thank you everyone for being here today.
And now I'd like to invite Henry Zhu back up to lead us in the benediction.
Let us rise. Dear God, I'm aware that there is a famous story about 12 scouts in the Bible. Just before the Israelites were about to enter into the land of Canaan, Moses sent 12 scouts into the land to find out about the land and its inhabitants. When the scouts returned, all 12 agreed that the land was beautiful and fruitful, and it was flowing with milk and honey. 10, however, said there are giants in the land, and we look like grasshoppers compared to them. We'll never make it. We can't go in. But the remaining 2 scouts, Joshua and Caleb, believed in themselves, believed in the people, and believed in God. They urged Moses to encourage the people to enter the promised land, and they said to the people, Hazak ve'amatz, be strong and of good courage. Because of their faith in God and themselves, Joshua and Caleb lit the spark for the successful attainment of the promised land. The difference between the 10 faithful scouts, the 10 fearful scouts, and the 2 courageous scouts was their ability to look at a challenging task and have enough belief in themselves and in God that they could do it. This to me represents the essence of attaining the rank of Eagle Scouts. It is a big challenge, but with hard work and confidence, it can be achieved. My prayer for those who have attained the rank of Eagle today is to look back upon this achievement and recognize what an accomplishment it has been, and to realize that you can build on your achievement as you approach the many challenges ahead. May the members of Troop 89 and their Scoutmaster, Michael Jones, Assistant Scoutmasters Dan Humphreys, Sean Murphy and Randall Kenworthy, and the 2 newly elevated Eagle Scouts, Brandon Popper and Marco Bennett, respond to the biblical challenge Azakamat. Be strong and of good courage today in all the days of your scouting and beyond. And let us say, Amen.
At this point in time, we will conduct our closing ceremony, which will officially end this Court of Honor. On behalf of Troop 89, our newest Eagle Scouts, Marco and Brandon, and their families, I would like to thank everyone for coming and would like to invite you to join us afterwards in the fellowship hall. Will Senior Patrol Leader Liam Curry please come forward? And wear your sunglasses. Color guard, advance. Everybody's already saying this. Color guard, post.